Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Let's talk today about LeBron James versus Karl Malone versus Charles Barkley and maybe versus Kevin McHale. You know, some great power forwards and some great centers, or not centers, small forwards and power forwards. Let's talk about that because, guys, ever since LeBron James and Anthony Davis paired up in what was it, 1820 or something like that, they should have been dominating the NBA, and I'm gonna tell you why. But first, let's talk about Joker. And I like Scap Attack, and I like, his angle with Joker as far as not having any help, and then he always uses Joker's stats. Okay, let's talk about his stats first. These are the stats that he wants to get, and these are the stats that the league is letting him get. Not that he's not a great player, but because he's a great player, he is stat padding. He just gobbling up a whole bunch of stats because the league is weak and soft, and he doesn't have any center competition on a nightly basis. Now, am I saying that, some of the centers out there that's good, the AD or the Joel Embiid or even Wemby now, to a certain degree, who else is a good center? I don't know too many other, but they're not going to stop them. But at the same hand, they're not stopping each other, is what I'm trying to say. And I know you're going to say, great centers are great centers. Bro, there's no defense. There's no defense. So let's get to the next part. The help. Him having help. Look, I think he has borderline all-star teammates. Seriously. They have the talent. They're just inefficient. His guys are inefficient. They could be all-stars or something like that. But let's just talk about this. Scap Attack, he blames the whole thing on the organization, that he doesn't have an all-star teammate, that he doesn't have a Hall of Fame teammate. And yes, you could do that. The problem is, where is Joker out there protesting to get this guy, to get that guy, to get this guy? Where's he at? I haven't heard nothing. He's not out there trying to get no guys. Well, do you think that's because if he goes and gets a Hall of Fame teammate, his stats are going to go down? His points, I mean, it depends on what position the guy will play. But if he went and got another great teammate, I think his stats will go down. He won't be able to average the same stats. Now, does he care? I don't know. I'm not sure if he cares or not. But like I said, depending on the teammate, what position he plays, he's not going to average that triple-double. He's not going to get all those points and rebounds, assists, or whatever like that, like he usually does. So I think that's one of the reasons that Joker isn't really out there protesting to get another great player on this team. And of course they can't now because they got Murray signed to a big contract. They got, what's this guy's name? Porter Jr. signed to another big contract. So they got rid of a lot of good guys just to sign those guys. And the West ain't that strong, man. I mean, the West, the East is looking more strong than the West this year. Let's face it. So Joker shouldn't have too much to worry about as far as coming out of the West. You don't have Karl Anthony Towns over there no more. I don't think Minnesota's this big threat. I really don't see where the Denver really has a disadvantage. I really don't. The only disadvantage I will see if they played out the potential, but they don't, was the Suns. You got Bill, you got Booker, and you got Durant all on one team. The problem is these guys don't play up to their potential. That's the biggest problem. So until I hear Joker out there protesting for another great player, I don't want to hear nothing about it. Because you can't have it both ways, man. You can't say that the team You can't say that the team ain't doing nothing for him, but he ain't out there trying to do anything for himself. And he's out there stat padding. What center is averaging that many assists? Or anything close? This is what he wants to do. He wants to get all these stats. He's not. He wouldn't be doing this in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s. They would be ripping him on the perimeter. So I'm not trying to beat up on Scap Attack. He's right. He does need some help. And he does deserve a great player so they can be a duo. But at the same time, man, let's stop. He ain't protesting. You would think he'd be protesting by now. I think he's more friends with his teammates now than want him get him. Trade him. He should be saying, I want to trade these guys at the damn All-Star break. He should have said it last year. Let's see if he's going to say it this year. That's his team. He's a 3-time MVP, and he ain't said nothing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. I mean, he's the greatest player in the 2020s, and I don't even think it's close. Especially if he wins a 4 MVPs, it wouldn't even be close. To me, I would have to put him, and it's crazy. LeBron's not even in my top 10. But if he wins another MVP, he's better than LeBron. I'm putting him ahead of LeBron. This guy went 4 MVPs in 5 seasons without a super team. Without a super team, LeBron won 2 with a super team. LeBron has never won a championship without a super team. LeBron has never led a team to a championship. He's always played with other number ones. So he was just another number one amongst the other number ones. You feel me? So let's get into this LeBron James thing. To me, when I look at AD and LeBron James, LeBron James and AD, they would be destroying this league if they both played on a block. You put one guy on one block, the other guy on the other block, and who would stop them? And I'm saying this in the sense that if LeBron, at his height, in his build, had any kind of paint game besides bullying the paint, I'm talking about a post game, that you could put him and AD on opposite blocks, and when you try to go double him, you just kick it out to the 3-point guys. Why does it seem so hard? I don't understand. Bombs away. But because LeBron has no, and I'm not even talking about in his early age. I'm talking about he should be able to have a paint game even now at his age. And the fact that how little these guys are, it's like every time I watch a Lakers game, if somebody guards them, whether it's I don't care what guy it is, a so-called forward, a power forward, they are dinky compared to this guy. When we talk about this guy bull charging the lane, imagine if he had any paint moves. I'm serious. Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Kevin McHale. If this guy had any paint moves like these guys, or knew how to work the paint, I just don't see how he don't though. When we talk about this weak, soft era, why? Why doesn't he know how to work that paint? If most of his shots are like within 2-3 feet from the basket for his career, how come he doesn't know how to use his back to the paint? I mean, to the basket. If he had any paint moves, all he had to do was take like a couple of steps, a couple of dribbles, and then shake a dude left to right, whatever kind of paint move you want to use. I mean, this would seem like common sense to me, dude. Him and AD just camping out in the paint. And for how big they are, I mean, AD, he's got some paint moves. He don't have, paint moves like, the 90s guys, but he's got some paint moves. He can play like a traditional center, or he can face up. He's got the whole package. So if LeBron had the whole package, they would be good, man. They got AD out there playing pick and roll for what? Throw this guy the ball in a damn post. And who the hell is going to stop him? This is stuff that just like be having me just like, I don't understand, man. That's why I say these guys aren't real head coaches. They're not. They're not, guys. We can try to lie to ourselves and make up. These aren't real head coaches, man. Everybody's running the same damn offense. How are you coaching this? Everybody got the same playbook. Because I know the coaches in the past, they would know one thing: put both of these guys on the block, and it's over. Opposite blocks, it's over. But for some reason, these guys don't know this. I don't understand it. And it's almost like it's kind of like blatant. You can't even, play old-fashioned basketball, or they won't let you play in this league. And basically, is this 8-on-8 All-Star? Is it 4-on-4? I keep saying 8-on-8. I think it's 4-on-4. But it's like 8 teams or something like that. I don't know, man. Is this something they're doing in Europe too? Because Curry said, "Oh, that's something he went to the commissioner, wanted to talk about because of or what he wanted to do from now on, because the NBA All-Star Game has been an embarrassment." What? The All-Star Game? The NBA regular season has been an embarrassment. How about the star players step up to the damn plate and say, we don't want this type of play no more. We don't want this All-Star Game to be like this. We don't want an in-season tournament. We don't want to play in. We don't want none of these gimmicks. You don't have nobody talking like this. They just going along with everything, just like Curry. Curry could have been the face a long time ago. He don't want to be. So he's just going along with everything. I mean, and especially since LeBron is in his older years, he should have been playing on the block a long time ago. And him and AD would have been dominating. Yeah, it would have been straight domination. One thing about LeBron James, and they got LeBron James highlights out there now, and the young people kind of mistake like what he's doing and what he's not doing. And it's the same game now that he's doing today than when they were showing his highlights in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2012, 2014. It started at the three-point line, take a run ahead start from the three-point line, and go dunk or do a layup the majority of the time. Now, did he pull up for a jumper? Sometimes, yes. But he was horrible at three in Cleveland the first time. And I told you, the 2 seasons he shot good in Miami, because he only hit 1.4 and 1.7 other year. So he shot 38% and 40% in two different years. They act like he was really raining down three, so he didn't even hit 2 a game. We already know the mid-range sucks. That's 37% for his career. But what I'm trying to tell you is they get a lot of things mixed up. He had better handles too, way better handles back then. I ain't gonna say you're gonna have the best handles all your career at 40 years old, man, but it's not even close. His handles now, let's just say his handles since he came to the Lakers, it don't even look the same. especially how weak the defense is now. The defense is non-existent. You would think his handles would get better. Michael Jordan's handles wasn't that bad at 40 years old. Not even close. When he came back to the Wizards, they weren't stealing the ball from him up and down the court. He was turning the ball over and all this crazy stuff. But what they're mistaken is that he still basically does the same stuff as back then. Only thing that's different, he was quick back then. He was quick, nimble, agile. He'll blow right past you because you can't play no defense. Right? You can't hip check him. You can't put an elbow, because that's another thing is he ain't gonna let you hip check him even if it was around back then. But that was his main problem. Doing dunks and layups and blowing by guys and doing dunks and layups. And then when he had to hit those shots in the clutch in the playoffs, when it really came down to it, he couldn't do that because he wasn't used to shooting. So most of these little kids never even seen LeBron James play. We grew up, well, I know I did. Well, I didn't grow up, but let me see when he came into the league. Man, I was in my 20s, man. I was young. What, 2003? Goodness God. Oh, sorry about that. I was sitting there reminiscing and thinking, I just still remember, seeing that first game he ever played. Because I had nothing against him back then. I just remember he took his first shot from the baseline and whoosh, he hit it. He hit it. As much as we say he can't shoot now, he hit that baseline shot. His first attempt, he hit it from the baseline. And everybody was like, okay. But I guess the sun shines on the dog's ass twice a day. I don't know. Yeah, it's a shame, man, that you can be this big right here and don't have any paint work. That would just be unheard of in the 80s and 90s. You just couldn't see a guy like this big playing out on the perimeter. You just couldn't. And one of the reasons is they would be ripping him. They'd be ripping his pocket. It's too big. They'd be ripping him, man, left and right. Like I was talking about Joker. I ain't trying to hate on Joker, but in the 80s and 90s, they would be ripping him if he'd be out on his perimeter. He don't really, when we look at his assists, we don't think of like a floor general or, he just like running the offense like a, Jason Kidd or a Chris Paul or a Magic Johnson or John Stockton. It's just, bro, I'm telling you, this is a lot of stat pattern. He's doing like LeBron James. If he's not a floor general like the guys I mentioned that run a real offense like they did, what does it mean? It means that this guy always got the ball in his hand to make a choice if he's going to pass it or shoot it. Who does that sound like? LeBron James. Who does that sound like? Joker. I mean, not Joker, Luka. So he can do what he wants, but the NBA is really failed itself. All this, the most athletic era of all time, and they got these dudes just bouncing off of Joker, bouncing off of him like putty, just bouncing off. They can't do nothing with him. A dude can barely jump off the floor. Dude can barely dunk. Dude undersized for a center. I'm trying to tell you, bro, if you wasn't 7 foot in the 80s or 90s, you couldn't play center. Now, there were some exceptions. Maybe on the defensive end, yes. But on the offensive end, you couldn't play center back then, man. All those guys were legit 7-footers. And when I say on the defensive end, yeah, maybe if you was defending a center as like a power forward like Rodman was, or maybe Oakley did it sometimes, something like that. But you would just, guys like that, they wouldn't shut nobody down at that height. They would just give them a problem. Instead of that guy scoring like, 30 points, he'd score like 25. Instead of him averaging 25, he'd score 20. So he wouldn't shut him down, but he'd bring him some problems. These guys can't shut nobody down in this era. They can't. It's sad, man. In the next 5 years, we want him the NBA be the MLB. And I told you, the only thing that will keep this thing alive is the LeBron James steroid scandal. That's it. Supposedly. Just like the Barry Bonds steroid scandal kept MLB alive while they kicked all the American black players out. That's what's going to happen here, folks. Exactly what's going to happen here. So I just thought I'd bring that up, man. I thought it would be like, because I grew up watching basketball. I mean, this seems like the stuff that you want to do. And I know LeBron James never played in the paint or back to the paint, and most of these guys don't even know what that is. Ask Wemby. But you can work on that. The guy's a basketball player. I mean, let's get real. So coming into that 2020s, I think that's something that they could have did, man, and just dominate this era. Him and AD on the block, you trying to stop them in the paint, it would be devastating. And then if you can't double them, they kick it out to the 3-point guy. That's how I would think. Like back in the 90s, you had the Orlando Magic with Shaq. They would kill you, bro. You try to double Shaq, you had these 3-point shooters just sitting out there ready to bomb away. Ready to bomb away. Same thing with what did they call that Houston team? I thought they called them something because they used to shoot all them threes in the 90s. So if you came for Hakeem, you had guys out there ready to bomb away with Mario Elie, Sam Cassell. Let me talk about him real quick. Mad Max. You had a slew of guys out there ready to bomb away if you try to double Hakeem. So it's this guy on Sports and Fitness Rant's post, and we was, saying Joker wouldn't be this good in the 90s because he would face, all-time great center position, like top 8, top 5. However you want to rank it, but we know it would be all-time top 10. A lot of these guys, at least, I would say at least 4 of them would be that's in the 90s. Might be in the top 4. No, I wouldn't say that. But top 10, I would say at least 4 to 5 of these guys will be in the top 10 in the 90s, all-time great centers. And then you would have your other centers who are great too, that really won't make that top 10 cut. Like the Dikembe Mutombos, Alonzo Mournings, what else? Maybe Ronnie Cycli, even though not a Hall of Famer. Yeah, but the good guys I'm talking about, your Shaqs, your Hakeems, your Robinsons, Ewings. That's 4 right there. And he would be in trouble. He would have to face stiffer center competition. He just would. But the guy said in the comment that he was hating on Hakeem. He said Hakeem was nothing before Sam Cassell. And I said, Sam Cassell? Really? I don't even think Sam Cassell made an all-star team. Sam Cassell? Wow. I mean, as dumb as he was, he could at least said Robert Horry. Because now you got LeBron fans on social media saying that Robert Horry won 7 rings in the Jordan era. Do you know when the Jordan era was? That was in the 90s. We talk about a guy's prime. We talk about when not only it is his prime, but he will be a top 5 player in the league. The 2000s wasn't Jordan's era or his prime. So I don't know what they're talking about. Jordan, I don't know when Ori won all his rings, but did he win one in 99? I'm not for sure. With the San Antonio, I don't think he did. But Jordan won in the league. Yes, Jordan was in the league in 2003 when San Antonio won. But that wasn't his era or his prime. The man was hobbling around. Just playing the rest of these games just to be playing the rest of them because that's what he committed a contract to. And if we want to be serious, Robert Horry won his 7th ring against LeBron James in 2007. How embarrassing. His 7th ring against LeBron James. That's crazy, folks. Insane. So you guys tell me what you think. Yeah, the guy said Sam Cassell. If it weren't for Sam Cassell, Hakeem would not have won rings. These are the people we're dealing with, bro. You can't make, these are LeBron fans. You can't make this stuff up. Now, if you would have said Clyde Drexler, because Clyde Drexler came in the second ring, the second championship with Hakeem, I could understand that. But this guy said Sam Cassell. And it ain't like he messed up. He kept saying Sam Cassell. This is what we're dealing with out here, folks. We're dealing with, these are the same people that listen to, and if you listen to it, that's fine, but I just don't agree how people can listen to rappers sing and it sound like they got a foot in their mouth while they're trying to sing. There's no harmony to them singing, and they're rapping. They had a post on social media today about Kodak Black. I ain't gonna talk about his appearance. He looks crazy. Looks like he's homeless. But he's out there, he's doing a concert, and he's just singing along with the song. And what this coincides with, and everybody was just sticking it to him in the comments, but what it coincides with, these guys aren't using their own voice. It's already been exposed. It's all AI generated. They're just propping these guys up since basically the 210s as the face of AI singing these records. So basically all they do is, in the studio, not the artist, I'm talking about the record company, is sit there and type in the words they want AI to sing. Or, rap, whatever. Sing rap, that's what they call it today. Thanks to Drake, right? We were talking about the other day, Drake. Drake ruined hip-hop because these dudes never stopped singing. They kept doing it. They said, we got to do what Drake do, or we can't make no money. Drake from Degrassi High. Drake from Canada. This dude ain't even American. Don't know nothing about American culture or black culture from Canada, and lived middle class, upper middle class, and had these dudes singing ever since, holding hands, sing along, Sesame Street. But yeah, it's just all AI generated. It ain't the people's real voice. They don't write no songs. It's just all fake, folks. So when they go to these concerts, of course, they can't rap it because they've been using auto-tunes and AI the whole time. So all they can do is try to sing along like you. One dude said on the comment, he said, you guys just paid money to watch this dude sing along to his own song? These guys ain't got no talent, man. They took the harmony out of music. The harmony, the soul, it's just cold. I never could imagine listen to 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, that black music is cold now. It's dead. It has no harmony. Black music was the most harmonized music of all time. starting with folk music. Then we go to jazz. Then we go to blues, R&B, soul music. And then we start putting deep harmony into rap music. It always had harmony, but I'm just saying it started getting deep harmony in the 90s. Right? They start putting R&B, start putting R&B music, R&B sound into hip hop in the mid 90s. And it just took off and kept going until about 210. And then they took it out in the 210 so dudes could sing rap on a beat that just the same beat. Tick, 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 tick. What the hell is that, folks? Wow. Tell me what you think.